All right, let's move on to band uniforms.
They have to go out to bid. We checked on that. So Tim is gonna sit down with Mr. Baum and generate an RFP. And then what I think we should do from there is once we get some amounts back, then the board should decide if there's a fee, what kind of fee, or if there's no fee and the district's just gonna pay. I think once we know the actual dollar amount, we actually go out to bid and see what we're talking about and get a clear answer on life expectancy of the uniforms, then we should engage in a serious discussion on whether or not we want to add a fee to it or not.
Aren't they mutually exclusive? I mean, shouldn't we consider adding a fee regardless of whether they need new band uniforms this year?
Yeah, I just don't know, like, we had a discussion of whether or not we should do a fee or not, and we kind of left it as, well, let's first see. My notes say that we've said, first of all, let's see if they have to go out to bid, because the number that the band teacher presented us may not even be substantial or might not even be accurate. Then John Keane asked for Pam's opinion, so what we're going to wait for is kind of get some of those numbers back and then engage in that discussion. If the board wants to discuss tonight whether they should have a fee or not, I'm okay with that. I just want to know, I think before we actually set up the specific dollar amount, we would want to wait and see how much we want to spread it over. That's all I was thinking.
Any comments from the board?
Kevin, can you explain why it has to go out?
Because it's over $25,000.
And that's based on our policy, it's written that way.
That's a state law.
It's a state law?
Yeah. So I had Tim check with the attorney just to make sure,
Okay.
because there are some exceptions to that law, professional services, copying, some technology and IT stuff. And, but this one does have to go out.
Do you recall either the useful life of the proposed uniforms or the current life of the,
In his
To be
original
replaced-
proposal, it was,
at least 20 years?
no, we've had ours for 20 years. In his original proposal, he was saying 10 to 15 years. And that's why I think the original conversation started that night about coming up with a fee so that we basically, the district would front the money, pay for them over the next 10 years with a general band uniform fee, so that this way, once we recouped our dollars, we'd start to prepare the process again to go out and get new ones. Then there was a little discussion, I think, between Pam and, or Laura and some of the board. Laura didn't feel there should be a fee, and most of the board felt there was a fee. So that's why I've said before we sit down and have this hard conversation, I think we should just see what the total dollar amount is.
We gotta see what total dollar amount, how long it's gonna take. Does everybody agree with that? And then we can start. I also think too, in that conversation as we're doing that is there a way that the uniforms can be, updated so that after a period of years, they would be all changed, or I don't know, so we can look at that too. Any other questions on band uniforms?
Yeah, I would encourage who's ever gonna do the research to reach out to Lake Zurich, because I think their band uniforms are similar or dead on it to the what he was proposing. And maybe there's a history there. Maybe you could get a sense of cost, sense of wear and tear. I mean, to the point of the little
Feather.
What do you call it?
Right, well, I also think the board, or I think it would be good for us to get an itemized RFP and price sheet so that we can decide, do we really need, this type of hat, or can we go with beret, or, just look at all our different options, especially if we're gonna be tying it to a fee or to a board expense, so provide all the options for the board.
Okay, anything else?